Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Birds are moving on. The Eagles defeat the Packers with another defensive clinic, and will face the Rams in the divisional round on Sunday. Jacoby Dean suffers an injury and will miss the rest of the playoffs. Will it be Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s time to shine? The Flyers suffer a shootout loss against the Blue Jackets on Tuesday after two big wins against the Ducks and Panthers. Ivan Fedotov appears to have cemented his role as the backup goalie. Flyers take on the Islanders on Thursday. The Phillies lose Jeff Hoffman to the Blue Jays in free agency. Pitchers and catchers report to Clearwater on February 12th. The Sixers are staying in South Philly. Team ownership has abandoned the Center City plan, finally striking a deal with Comcast to build a new home for the Sixers and Flyers in the South Philly sports complex. Meanwhile, the team on the court continues to flounder as Embiid remains out with a foot injury. Is it time to pull the plug? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Week's off to a pretty good start. Always feels nice to have a victory Monday when you're coming back after start to dry January. So that was a little rough, I will say. First day of drinking like that, but felt pretty good once you get a win involved. But all in all, can't complain. A little chilly out.
Green January.
Doing like damp January. Yeah. Not fully dry, but not fully drinking.
What the hell's Green January?
I just meant like only drinking for the Eagles games.
Oh, I've never heard it referred to as that. Interesting.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, let's start that. Actually, we can make that the trend that we started on the pod.
Yeah.
But now I can complain. It's cold. Dude,
Yeah.
last night,
It's cold, man.
last night I got home from band practice and I had to park a few blocks away. I was walked back home. It was like 2 or 3 blocks. I got in the house and just the cold hurt, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you go from a cold temperature to heat real quick?
Yeah.
It's a shock to your system. It was like I could feel it in my bones.
You can
My
feel the
bones
body
were sore.
falling out. You're like,
my
oh,
joints
man.
were like stiff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was no good. The other thing with this cold is I don't know about y'all, but I have, what do you call it, heat? Not radiator heat. What's the other one?
Central air
Central
heat.
air,
Yeah.
forced air heat.
Mm-hmm.
Forced air.
And it's not good on the skin, that dry heat.
Mm-hmm.
I've been so damn itchy.
Gotta
Like,
lotion up.
You don't need to tell me about lotion.
Yeah, I've in the winter I gotta start slapping it on.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. We're lubing up a lot over here, that's for
I've
sure.
been slapping
so I
on.
can take a bath in
Yeah.
that shit.
I've been slapping on plenty of lotion. I took a nice long bath Friday night. That helped for a few days, and then by Monday, I was dry and itchy again. Today at work, I was so damn itchy all day.
Mm-hmm. Like a little lizard on a rock.
Yeah, it was unpleasant. It's
Well, it's only going to get worse, so hopefully you warm up this week because next week is looking ass.
yeah, that polar vortex is coming back.
Yeah, Tuesday, dude. I was supposed to have a fucking dentist appointment on Tuesday. I might have to cancel that now.
Sorry, I can't get there. It's too cold.
Yeah, fuck that. My teeth
9
ain't
is
that
the low
important.
for the next 2 days next week. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's cruel,
I'm
man.
all right with that. Nope.
And that's the low. So when you get into with the wind,
Yeah.
the real feel or the wind chill or whatever you want to call it, you're probably talking below zero.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't had like a really super cold winter in a
People
while.
always
I feel
get like right when it hits December, they're like, "Oh, winter's here. I'm so sad and depressed now." I'm like, "This isn't even."
It's always like February.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the
is
holiday
worst.
season's over.
Yeah.
And all the lights.
Well, that's
are
when
down.
it really sucks. Like once the holidays are over,
Mm-hmm.
then it's just why does it even? What's the point of it
That's
being
what I'm saying.
cold now? It's,
What's the point of even
it's
going
just-
on?
It's
Yeah.
just the shitty winter. There's nothing to look forward to anymore. It's just
cold. It's
and
dark.
It sucks.
People are miserable. Sports are like winding down. There's usually no more football.
Apparently the daylight is supposed. We're like past the hump.
Oh no, yeah.
So it's gonna start staying light out a little later.
Yeah, you've already kind of noticed that. Like, so I was gonna bring that up, but at the same time,
Daylight savings update.
Yeah, but when it's sunny out and still 20 degrees, it's not. It only goes so far to
Plus-
help calm everything down.
Plus, in January, it's still getting dark around 5:30. In February, towards the end of February, even though it might be cold, the sun's out till almost 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel as bad, right? But yeah, January, plus February is a shorter month too.
Yeah.
Like you blink and February's gone, whereas January, 31 days, and it's just the longest month. These first couple weeks back after having so much time off for the holidays.
I know.
I woke up last Friday. I woke up thinking it was Saturday. So the first 20 minutes of my day, I'm thinking, hell yeah, it's Saturday. I'm going to get some stuff done around the house. I'm going to go to the grocery store. Then I wake up and get out of bed, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, damn, it's Friday. I got work today. So then it was even worse this week.
Yeah.
So this
full
week, today I woke up and I'm thinking, oh, hell yeah, it's Thursday. It's one more day to the weekend. And then I start working. Then I thought it was Tuesday. I'm thinking, oh, hell no.
That's
but
the
then
worst
I realized,
part when it's like when you're behind. Although it's better when you realize it's when you're a day behind than a day ahead.
yeah.
It sucks when like, oh, today's Thursday. You're like, shit, it's Wednesday. Oh, fuck,
Yeah, so I went
2
from
more
one
days.
extreme to the other where I was a day ahead. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this is pretty good. Then I thought, oh, shit, no, it's only Tuesday. Then I'm like, oh, man, I'm a day behind. Then when you realize it's Wednesday, it's okay. It's hump day, halfway there. I would much rather be Thursday or Friday, but I'll make it. So many people at work today are asking, how are you doing? I'm saying, yeah, I'm good. I thought today was Thursday. It's only Wednesday. They're like, oh, that sucks. You don't sound too good. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll be all right. Yeah, these first couple of weeks back after the holidays, just so long.
They just drag on.
Yeah,
You're like
it's-
getting back into the swing of things. People are getting all, even with support and stuff like that. Last week was kind of quiet because people were focused on their own, like clean out your inboxes and all that shit. But this week, people are fully back, and now they're like, okay, that thing that I was complaining about before, I just remembered it, and now it's, but it is what it is. It's the natural flow of the year, so it's only going to get warmer, but it has to get colder first, I guess. So we got that to look forward to. But before we get to it be freezing cold, we got the birds and a little wintry mix on Sunday back
we
at home.
Might get some snow. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd like that for for the Eagles.
which
Yeah.
I guess was it last time Matthew Stafford then was here? Was that wasn't the snowball?
No,
was
I
it?
feel like
He had to have been here since then.
I feel like he's played the Eagles since then. Let's see if I can find out real
in
quick.
Philly. That'd be interesting if it snowed again. I mean, that
Was-
was
2013 or
13,
2014.
okay, yeah.
Past couple seasons we've been out in LA to play.
Let's see.
them,
Yeah, he
but-
might
I meant
not.
in Philly though.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely been a
I know
while.
we started off a couple seasons playing at Detroit. Anyway,
I'm
but-
curious now, though. I'm going to try to find it real quick while y'all keep talking.
but we'll see. So I'm excited for that. I think that was an outcome that I predicted last week. I think that, we all said that the Vikings were a fraudulent team. It's kind of hysterical that the only two teams that they lost to were the teams that mattered. Like, they lost to Detroit and the Rams back-to-back weeks twice. So the first two losses that they had in the year were to Detroit and to the Rams. They went through the whole rest of the season. They were fine. Then the last game of the year, they lose to Detroit. And the first game of the postseason, they lose to the Rams, which is like kind of
Yeah.
hysterical. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of death taxes and the Vikings in the playoffs. They don't succeed. So that was fun to see. The Rams also absolutely dominated defensively. I mean, they have 9 sacks against Minnesota.
Yeah.
So you can't throw it all on Darnold.
Why do I not remember this game? Apparently, when he was with the Lions in 2019, they played in Philly on September 22nd.
They probably smoked us.
No, we won,
All right.
right? What's
take it.
this say? I
Yeah,
do
I mean, it's
not
back when
remember.
the Lions were still pretty bad. So.
Yeah, I do not remember this game. Oh, no, they won that game.
I thought so.
2019.
I thought they beat us.
I do
Anywho,
not remember that game at all.
different man, different team.
Oh, I think. Oh wait, never mind. That was in October. I don't know.
I can't tell you. 2019, I have no clue. But either way, he's back in town with a different team.
That was before 2019.
We smoked them last time we played them. Obviously, it'd be a little different here because we're in
Yeah, the
Philly,
last
not
2
the Dome.
times.
But
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about it. I think if the defense plays half as well as they did last week, we should be okay. Probably see a little bit more progress from Jalen Hurts' concussion and all that stuff, you would think. It all depends on, too, what the weather's going to look like. If it's going to be a wintry mix and sloppy out, probably will be a more ground-and-pound type of game from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the snowball. We'll see. But we got to talk about this game that just passed, right? We can't look too far in the future. We got to
That's true.
put this game to bed a little bit. So Eagles won 22-10 against the overrated Green Bay Packers. Yeah, that was the Bounty Bowl. Dudes were getting checked out of the game left and right.
Nolan Smith was out here
Yeah,
kicking guys
he
out
knocked
left and
out
right.
Elton Jenkins.
Yeah.
Pushed him aside like a rag doll. He left with a stinger.
Yep.
Jaden Reed Blankenship cracked him. He was out.
Yep.
Who else got hurt? Someone else on the Packers got hurt too.
I think a defensive player got hurt. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
right
they had
now
like
the
no
name.
one.
I was a little...
Their receiving core was non-existent by the end of that game.
Yes, I mean, what I realized watching that game and then the next day is if you look at the Eagles team, just at every position, just about every position, they're a big physical team. I mean, Dallas Goedert stiff-arming a dude 15 yards down the field in the end zone. That was wild.
That was nuts.
Saquon, obviously, is just a man amongst boys, especially at the running back position.
Yeah.
Our O-line's the biggest, beefiest O-line. A.J. Brown, 6'1", 226 as a
Not a
wide
lot
receiver.
of action, but the potential's
But
there.
I'm just saying, like, not saying he had action, but the Eagles, as their identity, is just this big physical team. I mean, even Hurts, the quarterback that squats 600 pounds, right? And that's just the offense. Then on defense, you got Jordan Davis. You got Nolan Smith, who isn't big, but plays big. Bond, N'Kobe Deans, who will miss.
It's
Big
true.
playing downhill. I mean, Cooper DeJean as a nickelback
Leveled out Derrick
who
Henry.
kind of plays like a linebacker, right? So, yeah, the team's established that identity as this big, strong, physical team. I think you saw a lot of that on Sunday. The Packers didn't want any of the smoke.
I feel like they've been preaching that all year. I think the game that clicked was against Baltimore, right? Because Baltimore typically has that stigma of being the most, being a proud, physically dominating team. Even go back to the Ray Lewis era, people play Baltimore, they expect them to be tough. That whole division is built off of that kind of mantra. But we kind of manhandled them that game, and ever since that game, they've been a dominating factor from a defensive perspective, laying down good hits, being a little bit more aggressive. I mean, you might get more penalties and things like that, as CJGJ has seen, being that kind of chirpy and aggressive defense, but we haven't seen him have this kind of swag in a while. The secondary's playing with fire. Like, we haven't had that in years. We have the best deep ball defense, too, in the league, which is help. You go up on a team, they have to go deep or at least throw beyond 10 yards, and they can't do it with this team. I think it's an 84% coverage rate or something like that when it's a ball thrown 10 yards or more. And I think the other stat that I saw, too, from that game was that every pass that he had, Jordan Love did have 10 yards or more, 4 of which were turnover worthy, 3 of which were, obviously. But, they just... decent amount of pressure, nothing crazy, only 2 or 3 sacks, I think, but enough pressure to get in his head, make him make dumb decisions, and the coverage team was right there.
Yeah, he also is notorious for not taking sacks, but what he is notorious for as well is forcing it, and they forced him into, like you said, 3 interceptions. The Slay interception was sick.
Beautiful.
Slay was running stride for stride and just out-muscled the guy for the ball. That was beautiful.
Like you said, that was his
he's
first
been kind of the sort of under the radar, having a great season.
Yeah.
So I feel like the story has been like Cooper DeJean, all these young guys, like Quignon, all this stuff. But Darius Slay has been really fucking good all year.
He's been consistent. It's probably his most consistent year, I feel like, as a Bird. And I think he said it was his first postseason pick.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah.
He did get banged up a little bit, but he came back.
That's kind of like what...
That's been his thing every game this year.
That's
what he does.
He always does that.
It's a matter of what quarter he's going to go out for a play or two and come back in.
But yeah, that pick was sick. The Bond pick, where
he just threw it right at him.
Well, no, because that
he dropped back though a little bit.
Bond tricked him into that, right? Because I forget. I think Fran Duffy was explaining it. It was like cover 4 coverage, or quarters, or however you want to call it, where there are the 4 deep guys and 3 underneath guys, and Bond started to creep up like he was the underneath guy. And then he read Jordan Love's eyes perfectly and just dropped back at the last second, put his hands up, came away with a hell of an interception.
Right in the breadbasket.
Then the Quignon Mitchell one to ice it.
That was
a great play, but you know what I recognized the most out of that play? I said it at the bar. I said Bond was all the way downfield on that play. Mm-hmm. If it's not for Bond, Quignon probably doesn't pick that. Yeah. But Bond gets in front of the receiver and forces the receiver to have to sort of cut back on the route a little bit. Yeah. And that's when Quignon, I think the ball was overthrown. I forget if the ball's overthrown or underthrown. But if Bond's not there running stride for stride, Quignon has to take a different angle. Probably doesn't get that pick.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard from all the Packers fans, but on that play there was totally pass interference.
I didn't see it.
They were complaining about that a lot.
They were complaining about a bunch of stuff. They were complaining that the first play of the game, when he fumbled, they said, first of all...
Oh, yeah, they said they manhandled the ball from which...
Well, no. So Keyshawn Nixon goes, I've never been hit that hard in my life. I think that was targeting. First of all, man, this isn't college.
Right.
Targeting isn't a thing. Second of all, it's the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You got to man up and be ready to get hit. It's the first play of the game at home in Philly.
That was the tone center, though. I'll tell you what, because the link, as soon as that happened, it was kind of done from there. The energy was there, and the Packers just, they didn't see they had the juice at all.
So, they were complaining about that. Then they tried to say, even though it was a forced fumble, whatever, we'll allow that to slide. The Eagles didn't actually recover it. My ass. They reviewed it and they said we did. So what are you mad about?
Yeah, there was an angle that did seem like Green Bay was on it right away.
But you didn't have enough evidence to overturn it.
But when you get those kind of dog piles like that, that's kind of what the purpose of that is. You just pile up and, the strongest guy who comes out with the ball gets the ball. It is what it is, especially in the playoffs. So, whatever.
I just think there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. As Donald Rumsfeld once said, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Wise man once said.
But anyway, the Packers were complaining a bunch. Did you all see this clip of this guy?
Berating the fan? Yeah, that's...
Calling her like an ugly, stupid C word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that guy sucks, but then it's also been revealed that the guy who was recording it probably also sucks.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah, they made it seem like it was just this random thing or whatever, but this guy who was recording the video was apparently some like Packers YouTuber guy who started GoFundMe to get tickets to the game or whatever. And it was clear, because you're like, why doesn't he just go get security? And why doesn't he do this? It's like, well, because he's trying to get content out of it. It's like, and probably, not that it's excuses what that guy was saying. That was like totally out of line. But like, I have to imagine that was not completely unprovoked. Like,
no.
That dude clearly went there hoping to start some shit and get some clicks. So
was there evidence he's done that before?
I don't know.
No, but he did comment like, he's been there because the GoFundMe was like, send me back. Like, I've been there before for a game as a Packers fan, and someone bit my cheese head and threw it into the ground or into a fire barrel. Like, I'm down. I'll do it again. Like, I'm not afraid of the Eagles fans. But then instead of like sticking up for I don't know if it was his friend or whoever, like, even worse, like, okay, your fiance is getting berated and you're just like,
well, no, in the video he says, don't call my fiance a stupid, dumb C word or
okay,
whatever.
but that's it? Come on.
Yeah,
come on, man. I'd
be ready to
You're in the nosebleed section and all you're doing is recording saying, hey, please stop calling my wife that.
Yeah, I would have been more heated than him, but yeah, like we said, he's doing it for content. He's fishing for it.
I mean, does it, to your point, the guy, I mean, shout out Big Dom for getting involved.
Yeah. This tweet from Derek Gunn, this was so funny. I saw this tweet from Derek Gunn. Let me pull it up real quick.
It's amazing what he gets involved in, Big Dom.
Here's an update. Big Dom has identified the guy and woman involved in this incident. The guy will be banned from future Eagles games. Eagles will be sending the woman Packers gears an apology. Eagles fans once again showing what a class organization they are. But the thing in this is, my favorite thing about this is Big Dom has identified the guy and woman. How does Big Dom, assuming by a guy he means the fan, which I think he does, how does Big Dom just identify a random guy at a football game? How?
I don't know. I imagine that, but underneath the link, like there's like a secret elevator that goes way down, and it's basically just sort of like the Batcave from like the Christian Bale movies, where he has, remember the one movie where he has like the million cameras. Yeah, Big Dom's got the whole.
Sitting there with the little couple.
He has technology we haven't even heard of.
He's sitting there with an espresso and a cannoli, like, I got that motherfucker. Hold on now.
I've seen something else saying he has just a pack of cannolis at his locker.
Yeah. Bo Allen and Fletcher Cox and Chris Long all went to the game, and Chris Long went to like the Eagles players locker room to wait up and meet up with, I think, Fletch, and Bo Allen went to the like coach's locker room to meet up with the other guys. So there was a miscommunication there, and Big Dom's like, sit in my locker, like, there you go, take a cannoli. And Bo Allen's like, all right. And there was just a box of cannolis in his locker room. He's like, all right, sorry, eat them.
Yeah, fucking rules.
Yeah, Big Dom's hilarious.
Another big loss, to your point too, though, Nakobe Dean going down. He was having his best year yet. So it sucks that it happened.
He was having a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still finished, I think, in like top 5 in tackles for the team in totality, but it sucks to see him go down. I'm excited to see the opportunity for Trotter Jr. because in that last game against the Giants, albeit the Giants, he was everywhere. I mean, he must have had 5-6 tackles before the half. So I'm excited for that. And they also brought back Morrow, I thought.
I'm not excited for that. Yeah. Don't give me shades of last year.
I mean, I guess that's just insurance, but
it's just to have someone there. I mean, he did have signs of good things last year. He did lead, did do some of the play calling. It's not like you brought in a random person.
They didn't bring in Shaq Leonard. That's true. That would have been bad. Yeah, it could always be worse. But now, to your point about Trotter, Watching him in that Giants game, it was kind of reminiscent of watching Nakobe Dean, right? He's coming downhill on a flat route to the running back, coming downhill on a inside zone. He's pretty quick to the ball, and he hits with force, kind of like his pop.
Yep.
And when the draft was, you remember last year during the draft, I didn't want him. I said
you were opposed.
But now here's why. But now it works out to his benefit, because I said he's the exact same size and similar profile than Nakobe Dean. And Nakobe Dean up till last year hadn't done anything.
Well, he was hurt. I mean, he had the injury bug for a while too.
He hadn't really done a whole lot, so I was kind of down on him. But now maybe that's to Troutler's benefit, right? Nakobe Dean had a lot of success in this defense, similar play style, similar body type. I mean, yeah, he's a rookie. He's probably going to get picked on. He'll make a few mistakes here or there. But I'm cautiously optimistic. You heard what Fangio said?
Yeah. And he doesn't, he's not one to, gas people up and bullshit in his press conference. So if he's saying that he has like the confidence in him, you have to
believe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, and look at what he's done with everybody else on that defense too. I mean, you got Zach Bond having a career year. I think he's got more tackles than he had his whole career with the Saints. Nolan Smith having a tremendous season.
He had a great game. He had a really nice sack.
My boy.
Two good sacks.
He had 2 sacks, yeah.
Tapped in and took out a player, which is kind of, again, not to compare Superweight to that, but, you look at Hassan Reddick taking out whoever it was for San Fran that year. Like, it's, good speed.
He knocked out, what do you call it, Purdy, and then Josh Johnson?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's good. I mean, Vic Fangio has a way of bringing out the best out of these young guys and out of defensive players as a whole. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what Trot Jr. does. But, coming up with this Rams team, they're a fast offense for sure. So he might have to play some coverage or whatnot, but you got to kind of almost see how the weather pans out because that'll dictate both offenses, really. I mean, everyone knows you got Cooper Kupp, Pua Nakua coming into Philly healthy. Even Kerryon Williams, very good running back. It's going to be a tricky team to play if it's nice out. But I have all the confidence in the world with this secondary right now against this Rams team, especially what they showed us this year, what they could do to them.
I mean, you can have all the confidence in the secondary. Where you at? Where's your level of confidence with the passing game on offense?
I'm not concerned. I think. Is it ideal, right? Do we want to come in here and see Jalen Hurts throw for under 25 attempts a game? Not necessarily. However, I go back to those years where we had Carson Wentz before we went on that Super Bowl run and guys like that where you're throwing 35, 40 times a game and you have 2 picks, 300 yards, and you lose the game by 10. It's like, well, if his role is to be a game manager, which is okay to do in this league, when you have Saquon also you have Saquon Barkley, like you're not just having him dink and dunk with Swift or with Miles Sanders in the backfield and barely getting, 4 yards a carry. You have arguably still in the running for MVP, potentially, if not Offensive Player of the Year in Saquon Barkley, the best O-line in football, a healthy tight end back. You go to guys when you need to, but if you don't need to force it, then don't force it, especially with the defense playing the way it is.
Yeah. I think there was definitely some signs of rust there with Hurts. Some of the throws were a little off. I mean, even that touchdown throw to Goddard was kind of thrown behind him. Goddard made a really good play on the ball to reel it in and all that. But I guess it just comes down to whether or not you're into what seems to have been their philosophy this year, where they're gonna do as much with Hurts as needs to do to win, maybe not more, as kind of like a risk-averse thing. Because it seems like in this game especially, they were very conservative in terms of not wanting to turn the ball over. I mean, they had a lot of 3rd and longs where they just ran the ball. I don't know if I really like that. But then also It's like, well, if they didn't turn the ball over, they won the game. Like, who am I to sit here and say it's not a good idea?
Even if you go back to last year, 2 years ago, all those things where everybody after every game was like, run the fucking ball, run the damn ball. Well, now we're running the ball, and everyone's like, why aren't you throwing the ball? It's like we throw the ball when we need to throw the ball. Hurts doesn't need to be the guy that's going to be Peyton Manning in the pocket throwing it for 350, 3 touchdowns. That's not what he does. He's going to do a great job of giving the ball to guys that are open when he needs to. Sure, will it end up being a 3rd and long and we don't get it because we run the ball or because he has a bad pass? Potentially, but he's not taking too many sacks. He's not turning the ball over, thankfully, like he did in the first half of the season. We're winning games, and Saquon's getting the ball 20, 25 times as well, and should have had almost 180 yards again, but laid down and, did what's best for the team to get the win. So,
yeah,
it's.
I guess the other thing too is I feel like this discussion that people keep having about the passing game and stuff almost feels like this is a more of like a long-term thing. Like this is something that's like maybe if this bleeds into like next season and they keep doing like this is probably not going to work forever. But at the moment it's like just got to win 3 more games, like
right.
If they can keep having this defense play like it is, the run game keep playing like it is, then yeah, maybe this is all they need to do to win 3 more games and take home a trophy. But, it's just like you can't expect to have the number 1 defense year after year. You can't expect to have this insane running game all the time. So it's like at some point, I would like to see what Kellen Moore's offense actually looks like. Because it seems like he's just been kind of contained to what Hurts is comfortable with. And so I feel like it's one of those things where the long-term outlook is a little concerning to me. For 3 more games, if they can, pull out these wins, I'm obviously, fine with it. If they can just figure out how to make it work for the rest of this playoff run. I guess for me, it's more of just like a more long-term concern with their philosophy on offense.
I mean, that's a fair way of putting it. It certainly is a thing where, if Kellen Moore is going to be around for a while, then we need to see a little bit more from this offense. And yeah, I'm not blaming the lackluster passing game on just Hurts. I said last week when we recorded, I think Hurts has around 15, 20 attempts. He had 21. He had 131 yards. He had 111.4 QB rating for what that's worth, or passer rating for what that's worth. But at the same time, right, like there were plenty of moments in that game where he's standing back there in the pocket, just standing there. Yeah. The touchdown pass to Johnson, he was in the pocket for 7 seconds.
I know, he had all day.
That's absurd.
It's kind of crazy.
That's credit to the O-line. I said that pocket was wild when we were watching it at the bar. So, yeah, I mean, the offensive line is doing their thing, and they're really helping the passing game sort of survive. But the game where Tanner McKee played, they were running all sorts of really cool play designs, like under center play action, under center rollouts, right? Like
why can't you just draw up like a simple like play action bootleg for Jalen Hurts?
And the one they did was to Devontae Smith, and it was for 28 yards. It's like, where's more of that? Where's the offensive creativity that we were promised with Kellen Moore? This isn't an indictment on just Hurts. Yeah, Hurts missed some throws. Yeah,
it's the whole thing.
He stands back there sometimes and takes throwaways when you'd like to see him do something with it. Yeah, he's not the best against zone, I'll talk about in a minute. But ultimately, I think it's a combination of the offense kind of failing him and him also just, I don't know, some of it was rust for sure, and some of it's not rust.
It just seems like they've worked themselves into this comfort zone that's been a little limiting. Like, it's just, I don't know. Again, I keep coming back to, like, it's hard to really complain about shit when you're 2 wins away from another trip to the Super Bowl or whatever. But it's just, you have arguably the best O-line in football. You have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. This should be like a top 5 offense, top 2, 3 offense. Yeah, it should be doing more. They should be slaughtering teams every week, and it's just kind of, it seems like they've just kind of gotten comfortable with just doing enough. And I hope that doesn't come back to bite them in the playoffs. We'll see.
The thing is, though, I feel like we haven't had a test to make us have to do that, though, right? Like we haven't.
Not yet, but
sure, but
against
sure, I get
against
that.
the Lions or the Chiefs, the Commanders.
Sure, maybe potentially, but again, I think that look at the game when Hurts was going out against Washington, 21 points in the first quarter. Sure, we haven't blown off the top yet of this offense against a team. Could we be doing some crazy shit like Detroit does where you were throwing it to O-linemen just for shits and giggles? Like, maybe, but I don't, Hurts is with what is he with the Eagles now? 4 years now, his 4th offensive coordinator. Like, he hasn't had any rhythm with anything, right? It's another new offense he had to learn and get used to. Every other year, the fan base and the coaching scheme is changing up on his ass. So, it's hard to get a hold of. I just don't understand A.J. Brown's another 1,000-yard receiver. You have a 2,000-yard rusher, which doesn't happen every year. His stats are great. He's not a terrible quarterback. I don't know why we need to force now to change this identity of being a hard-nosed, especially when everyone knows defense wins championships. We're running the ball the best of any team, maybe compared to Baltimore. They probably run better because Lamar also gives you a little bit more juice with the legs. But I don't know what do we want then? Hurts to come out then this week to throw for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 3 picks, and we win by 3? No, or are we okay with playing our game where Hurts has 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and Saquon has 120 and a touchdown?
He didn't even have 200 yards.
I'm just saying, it's just I feel like at this point in the season, it's not being complacent in just winning the game and, thinking and dunking and doing whatever. I mean, the team, this is what they do. They smack you in the mouth on defense, especially in the last 4 weeks with 14 turnovers in the last 4 weeks. They do enough to control the game on offense and give our defense a break. Long extended drives. Maybe you get a 3. Maybe you get a touchdown, whatever it is, but they're taking time off the clock. Is it ideal? No. Is it sexy and fun? Not all the time. But at the same time, it's winning your games. 14-3. The number 2 seed in the NFC. They got a divisional round playoff game at home. Again, 2 playoff games at home. They're not going to change. They're not going to make Jalen Hurts throw 35 times this week just because we're like, damn, I don't know if A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts still got it. Yeah, they fucking do. But
we're not asking for that though.
No, but I feel like the last couple of weeks, it's been feeling that way.
Last week I said he's going to throw 20 times, and he did.
Right.
And I'm not asking him to throw 30 to 35 times. What I'm asking for is some coherence in the passing game. And it doesn't come down to just him. It comes down to the entire offensive identity and the fact that Kellen Moore, for whatever reason, is not calling plays the way that he's capable of calling them from other quarterbacks.
He's done that historically, though, when he was with Dallas and with the Chargers, too. He has very big inconsistencies week to week.
Which might be who he is. Yeah. And, that lowers the ceiling for the team. I think that's the issue. That's what Trevor is saying is, short term, this could work. And short term, your defense could play lights out the way Nick Foles played lights out in 2017. You win the Super Bowl. But short term, maybe it works. Long term, short term, maybe it doesn't, right? Short term, maybe you end up in a shootout against the Lions. Yeah, you can run the ball all you want, but running the ball doesn't lead to the same quick strike offense the same way that it does passing the ball and throwing it deep.
Or you might find yourself trailing against the Lions.
Yeah, in which case then what?
Keep grinding the ball, I don't know.
So ultimately we'll see what happens. This nugget from Sheil Kapadia, it's not the most convincing thing. It's actually pretty unconvincing about Hurts. But in essence, what he was saying is there have been only 15 quarterbacks in the past 10 seasons of a quarterback having a worse success rate in a playoff game. Guess what? All 15 of those quarterbacks lost. In case you're not following, that Eagles game Sunday featured the least efficient passing performance by a quarterback whose team won a playoff game in the last 10 years. So it worked. And it could continue to work. I'm not going to read Sheil's entire article, but he does say, will that work? I don't know. The defense is really good. It could work. Time will tell. So no one's saying that it won't work.
Could it have been what was it, the 2015 Broncos, where they had the corpse of Peyton Manning?
Yeah,
and the
it could
defense
be that.
just carried them to a Super Bowl.
And if that happens, I'll be on Broad Street partying with everyone else. But
yeah.
If it doesn't happen and it's because the passing game never reaches its ceiling, then I'll be sitting here saying this is why we were kind of concerned about it on and off throughout the season.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is that it's Jalen Hurts is not the corpse of Peyton Manning. He's capable of passing the ball well, and it's just I don't know. It's just why can't we see a little more? Just see a little more of that.
Yo, I will say that fake tush push play that was cool.
I did like that. Gold. He just missed it. I mean, for all that's been made of AJ Brown only had however many targets for 10 or whatever it was that he had. He would if Hurts makes a better throw there, that's a touchdown. And we're probably not talking about
70-yard touchdown, call it a day. It was right in my end zone too. I'm like, this is fucking sick. But hey.
Yeah. Speaking of the real big winner of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Murphy, the author of Inner Excellence, trained your mind for extraordinary performance and the best possible life. This is pretty.
Did you get yourself a copy?
I haven't. Maybe I should.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $15.47 on paper.
He's a bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm not like an audiobook or Kindle guy, but yeah, it went from it was like the 500 something thousandth to number one. Literally like changed this guy's life overnight. It's so funny.
All the reviews are just like, I saw AJ Brown reading it and I picked it up to expand my mind a little bit.
I also just love the idea of all of these Eagles fans going out to buy this self-help book. Just like this what is widely considered one of the most deranged group of people on earth, just in a few weeks' time will just become the most calm and collected and emotionally intelligent people.
Be a scary thought.
Yeah, they could end up losing the fucking Super Bowl in awful fashion, and people will just be calling up in the WIP being like, well, you have to learn from this. And we're all calm, we're all fine, and life goes on. All we have is tomorrow, and we're going to make that the best it can ever be. No one's really mad.
Yeah, shout out to, Jim Murphy? Good for him.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, he owes, well, I was going to say he owes A.J. Brown some of his
I love how
royalties,
desperate people are to make this into some kind of story, like a controversy.
My God.
What, about why he's reading?
It's just, they just love trying to create this narrative that AJ Brown is unhappy with like Hurts and the team. Like, he's reading a book on the sidelines. Like, well,
dude, athletes can't read.
Apparently, he always does that. Yeah. This is his thing that he does to put his mind at ease. Like, that's cool. That's like everyone's got something.
Yeah, would you rather him sit there on the sidelines and read or be jawing people out?
Dude, the best. Right. I also love too the fucking delusional Patriots fans that have worked themselves into thinking
saw a couple people saying
Mike Vrabel's going to bring AJ Brown. Come on, man. That's just pathetic.
No.
He's like, I still have a great relationship with AJ Brown. I know that.
Well, he's reading on the sideline.
He cried when AJ.
He
cried when he didn't get drafted by the Patriots. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He ain't going nowhere. He's staying here. Like, everybody settle down. What?
Yeah, I'm glad it was like just a kind of just boilerplate, self-help book thing too, and not like imagine or like imagine if it was, or like I was saying, like imagine if it was like 12 rules for life, like the Jordan Peterson. You're like, or if he was reading like
he's reading RFK's memoir,
or if he was reading like L. Ron Hubbard, just like Scientology, and then all the Eagles fans start buying the book about like Dianetics.
Now that they would fall into, that'd be a
just
trap
like
that would be easily paid for.
They're at the tailgate like fucking Xenu, man.
They're doing the like
I fucking hate Xenu, dude. I like Hurts. I like Hurts, but he's got like too many Thetans. He's got to get rid of some of the Thetans, and I think the passing game would really pick up.
They're susceptible to that too. I wouldn't put it past us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do hate that people are mad at him for reading, though.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, was it interesting?
Dude, this is like peak wide receiver behavior, too. Like, dude, if you know anything, they're like the weirdest players on the football team. It's like total wide receiver shit. But yeah, I love it.
That just screams big time game for him this week. Then
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. He's just loading up. He's just processing. He's ready to roll.
Yeah, no, I mean anytime he's ever been a part of any controversy, some of which have been warranted, but in this case completely unwarranted. The week after that, he always goes off.
Yep.
So don't take your betting advice from me. Maybe take it from Trevor, Mr. $20,000 bankroll.
I don't know, man. If you would put money on that last week, you called almost Hurts' stats to a T.
That is true,
which was very impressive.
But yeah, I would bet AJ Brown overs and probably a TD anytime TD. There we go. But I guess I think I'm done talking about last week's game. Finally, this week's game. So we got the Rams. Surprisingly beat the Vikings, although
I don't know
surprisingly
if it was that big of a surprise.
Yeah, the Vikings are always pretty fraudulent.
Yeah,
Sam
Darnold not meant for the spotlight.
Plus, they had the weird, playing in Arizona, which obviously people were like, oh, well, they're playing for their city, which is great. Obviously, LA, that fucking sucks. Hopefully, everybody's doing a little bit better, but like. Even Adam Schefter was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. I remember listening to our pod last week, and we were just kind of like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. This is a bunch of rich people and they're $1 million. It's like, this is actually really bad.
No, it did.
Whoops.
To be fair, I think from the pot, it did expand into other neighborhoods.
It was not as bad.
I wasn't aware of the
talking
magnitude
about
of it at the time.
At the time, it was just one county. We didn't know it was, a lot anyway.
Yeah. LA, we hope you're doing better. Shout out Mir Long and your family. We know you're out there.
Yeah.
And shout out Becky and, or no, not Becky, P-Tech.
Yeah. But we're still trying to beat that ass this week, so.
Yeah, the Rams can kiss my ass on Broad
Doesn't really matter.
Street.
But
They might have a chance to.
But yeah, so, they had a weird little win against Minnesota in Arizona, which was pretty ironic because it was in the State Farm Arena, and State Farm had canceled like 75,000 insurance policies like 2 months ago in LA.
Oh, really?
For fire coverage, and then,
Oh, really?
shit happens. So it's kind of fucked up that they made a play in the State Farm thing.
A lot of people think that, see it like, this is the Palisades. It's all these, like, celebrities and actors and stuff, and thinking that it's not something that's affecting normal Americans. But this has been reported in the New York Post. Hunter Biden artworks worth millions of dollars destroyed in LA fires. A trove of nearly 200 artworks by Hunter Biden has been destroyed, one of the casualties of the wildfires raging in Los Angeles. The controversial art has been in storage in the Pacific Palisades home of Hunter's Hollywood attorney, Kevin Morris, and is valued at, quote, millions of dollars.
Whoa. Wait, is it art by Hunter Biden?
Yeah. Remember when he was, like, got into painting? These guys love painting, like George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Damn,
what?
I kind of want to see some of this artwork now.
Morris, who loaned the first son nearly $5 million to help pay a tax bill and has been financing a documentary on him, lives in a sprawling 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom home.
I hope one of the paintings is the escort's ass with the cocaine on the top.
Yeah, hold on.
5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. Why do you need more bathrooms?
Yeah. What, are you sleeping in the bathrooms?
I guess like a downstairs one.
I guess if every bedroom has its own bathroom attached.
Or it's the pool bathroom. Like
yeah, I guess, or maybe a couple of them are powder rooms.
Is it 6 full baths?
I don't know.
Anyway,
some of them are probably
6
half
bathrooms.
baths.
Jeez.
Damn. Well, that was even Hunter Biden's house. That was his lawyer's house. That was his attorney's house.
Yeah, these were kept as an attorney's house. A
Yeah,
lawyer for Hunter Biden, who is a self-taught artist who turned to painting while in recovery from drug addiction, did not immediately return a request for comment.
Of course, the attorney's like, yeah, that was worth at least a couple mil.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing.
My ass, dude. That ain't worth that much money.
So, yeah, we got the little Rams coming into town.
You wouldn't pay $1 million for that? You do that?
That looks like an 8-year-old did it.
It looks kind of cool.
I'm into that. It gives me like light bulbs. Looks like Christmas.
Yeah, he likes painting flowers. I think it's kind of nice.
He's no Bob Ross, I'll tell you that much. That don't look that good.
I wish he had the escort, though. The escort butt with the cocaine on it. That'd be a nice painting.
Yeah, if he did self-portraits of his darker times.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really good.
Yeah,
that'd be deep.
That probably would be worth money, actually.
Hello.
But anyway, so I was about to say the St. Louis Rams.
Damn.
You remember when the Eagles played them in the playoffs in 2001? You remember that? The greatest show on turf, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner.
Damn.
That was before McNabb was McNabb. I remember watching that game. That was probably the first time I felt heartbreak watching the Eagles.
They had good jerseys, too, back then, for the Rams.
Yeah, we got the Los Angeles Rams coming to town. Matthew Stafford, his old ass, 36. I say old.
Still sling it.
Pretty efficient in the playoffs, I will say.
I do like Matthew Stafford, but...
And very good this time of year from his
apparently. I had no idea, but that does make sense. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. He's had plenty of postseason success in his long career. His early days with the Lions, those teams were pretty good. I don't know. These receivers, even though we did beat them, these receivers still scare me. Puka Nacua is still a beast.
I mean, they're good. Yeah. I mean, anytime you have to play one of them, it's tough.
They got a good running back, too.
Yeah, Kyron Williams is good.
Higbee cooked us, too. 2 years ago we played. I mean, their tight ends aren't terrible either.
Yeah, no, they're a better team than I think the stats would indicate and then that people would give them credit for.
They've also gotten healthier. They face a lot of adversity throughout the year. They are a tough, they're Sean McVay, from what people are saying from the LA side, they're like, we're built for this kind of scene. We're built to kind of move forward, do a little shit, whatever. But at the same time, they have, started off with Pua on IR week 1, almost traded Cooper Kupp or had those little drama in that. People were hurt. They've gotten healthier. They've played consistent football. They've played good football. They got a good young defense.
Their defense line's good.
So It will be a challenging game. I think that the outdoor factor helps, especially if it's going to be cold, whether or not it's wet or not. I think just being out in the cold should help. He's a dome guy his whole career, so it's a lot different than playing Cooper Cup and Pua Nakua in a nice dome. You're playing outside in 35-degree weather, potentially sloppy out. Bodes well for us and our defense. It's nice to have some of our young guys get a taste of what it's like playing in Philly in front of that crowd in the playoffs. So I'm sure they want to just feel that one more time, maybe get a championship game here as well if they do their job. But it comes down to how consistent the offense can be. You can't be going 3rd and long and putting the ball to the Rams every time they get
you can't be on 3rd and 15. You can't be running back draws every time.
Jordan Love and Reed for a quarter, and Jordan Love and 3 guys that aren't really anybody as a receiver is a lot different than,
It's a better offense, yeah. So, yeah, I feel as though the Nakobe Dean loss, like Trotter Jr. is going to have big shoes to fill. I kind of think he does it. That'd be probably my biggest concern is because, these receivers, this tight end, this running back, Sean McVay knows I got a weak link at linebacker, so a rookie, his first career start, playoffs or otherwise, I'm going at him. So, yeah, I think Trotter Jr. is going to have his work cut out for him. But at the same time, man, I feel pretty good about it. He's got the pedigree. Fangio's coaching him. Fangio's saying it could be his time.
Yep.
I mean, Fangio's really quick to throw Bryce Huff under the bus.
Yeah.
Right? So he's really quick to be honest, and he's being honest. Yeah. So I think Trot Jr. plays pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if, because, it's usually Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond when the Eagles are in nickel. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles play a little more dime, but instead of having 4 corners, like you don't want Avonte Maddox on the field as much as I used to love Avonte. You go to more of a big dime where you have Cooper DeJean in the one slot, and then you have maybe a safety in the other.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Eagles hardly ever play dime, but maybe the Rams force you into it just because.
You got a McCullum out there or whoever it is.
Yeah, or Sidney Brown or whatever you want to do there. But it's possible. I could see it happening. But yeah. And then I think offensively, like you said, which offense shows up? The Rams do play a ton of zone. Hurts is 22nd in the league against zone as far as passing goes. He's 3rd against man. They don't play a ton of man, so I don't think he's going to have opportunities to pick on man coverage too much. Yeah, but he did pretty well. I
mean, even against the Rams earlier, it's the same team, same defense, so it's interesting. It's hard to pick what, again, to all of our point, the consistency on like the defense. We know even if they're half as good as they were a week or so ago, they're going to be really good. Mm-hmm. They're still a top 5 defense, if not the number 1 defense still. The offense, if they show up and they can actually play, will be okay. But if Hurts comes out and is doing some stupid shit and we can't get the run going, which would be shocking to me if, even if Saquon only gets half the yards he did last time, it's still one pretty near. Okay. So
yeah. So I think the Eagles are still going to be able to run the ball. The Rams are going to come out and try to stop the run. And, their defensive line is good, but it's not that big. Like I started this pod saying that the Eagles have a big, strong, physical offensive line, a big, strong physical identity. I just don't think the Rams are going to be able to put up with it. And especially not coming to Philly on a short week in the cold.
Yeah.
They're not going to know what hit him, and then bam, you got...
Short week and having to travel, too.
Yeah, exactly. They're traveling cross country, and they got all this turmoil going on back home.
They had to travel to Arizona, then back to LA, which isn't far, but they had a weird week.
It's a night that they're not home in their beds, right? So, and they're not going to know what hit him until bam. Then you got Oren Burks coming down again on the opening kickoff, hitting someone hard. Yeah. Then you got bam, the first offensive possession of the game for the Eagles. You got a polling Jordan Mailata coming through the hole on an inside or on a pull play.
Him and Cam Jurgensen coming over.
Yeah, nope. So no, I feel pretty good about the game, even though I do have my concerns about the Eagles' passing game. I think the Eagles rely on the run again. Hurts probably still only finishes with 22 pass attempts. People freak out a little bit, but then people also realize, we won. The Eagles win 26-17. It's the Alonzo Mourning meme. It's like, oh, yeah, I could be mad about this, but we won. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it is.
I like that. You said 26-17?
Yep.
What do you got?
Going 27-20. Birds.
27-20?
Just cover.
I'm going to go I guess I'm going to go 24-10.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the defense could hold them to 10 points.
I mean, this defense the last
really
couple
well,
of weeks has
yeah.
been doing really, since the Washington game, which was upsetting. But, I mean, they're averaging 22 to 17 points a game the last couple of weeks, so I can't complain about that. They're doing that was Jim Johnson's always thing, is that you hold a team to 17, we should win every game.
Yeah.
So if they keep playing like they're playing, if they go up to 17, no big deal. I think our offense could put up, 20-plus points on anybody. So, yeah, I think we're all right. We're all picking a win. I'm into that.
And then we're playing the Lions in Detroit, I think.
I don't know, man.
Washington is really spunky.
I really think Washington might pull this off.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, Washington's at home scares me a lot less than going to Detroit.
I just don't think their defense is going to hold up against the Lions.
But
Especially the Lions are getting healthier. I think that...
Damn! The line on that game's Lions minus 9.5?
Yeah.
Damn!
I mean, what's Washington, the 7th seed?
6 or 7.
So,
the Packers were the 7. They're the 6.
Okay, so they're 6. Okay, 6th seed. I mean, I don't know. Something about that Washington team. You got Dan Quinn, who's got experience in the playoffs, albeit a historical flop in the Super Bowl. But, you got a good defense there. And Jaden Daniels gives it that chance. I mean, I don't know what it is. If they keep it close and it comes down to the fourth quarter, you feel pretty good as a Washington fan, thinking that you might have a chance to win this thing. So as long as they can keep it reasonably close, I think Washington has a chance. Obviously, if Detroit comes out and they pop off and go crazy,
They might have David Montgomery back.
Yeah, you might be tough, but I don't know. I think I trust Washington beating the Lions more than I almost did Tampa Bay. They just got that weird kind of shit going for them.
I think they cover minus 9.5. That's absurd, dude. They cover a 9.5 point spread. The Commanders, they're not losing that game by 10 points.
I could see it.
It'd be interesting though seeing Detroit. And the last thing I'll say about football, I guess, is that Detroit's always been the last couple of years with Dan Campbell, the underdog, the greedy guy. They're the ones coming in somewhere and having to make that win. It'd be interesting to see because there is a different transition there of being the top dog and having to defend your home. So, you got Washington has nothing to lose. Fuck it. They go up there, they lose. Okay, we made it to the division round of the playoffs, and we lost to the number 1 seed in Detroit with a rookie quarterback. We can't wait for next season.
Yeah.
So
their season's
Detroit
already,
has everything to lose. You had a week off. You finally got the 1 seed. You were a game away from playing in the Super Bowl last year against San Fran. You come and lose to fucking Washington. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, Washington.
So you got a lot right on that game.
That's a good point. Washington's season's already a success, whereas Detroit at Super Bowl or bust, and there's a lot of pressure on them.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
We'll see.
What's the other thing? Oh, so yeah, this piss bet, because people were giving me a hard time again. So here's the deal, right? Because the Eagles are still in the playoffs and we're going to have plenty of Eagles football to talk about, I'm not doing it. But if they lose to the Lions, or let's say they lose before they make it to the Super Bowl, I'll do it the week after they lose. If they make it to the Super Bowl, the week in between the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, I'll do it during the bye week.
Okay. We need something.
Got it on the record.
So
here,
if you're listening to this pod and
piss watches
you're a casual listener and you're thinking, I really want to listen and see the piss, then there's your announcement. Pay attention to the Eagles games. Pay attention to what I just said and know that it is coming whenever the Eagles lose or during the bye week, whatever hits first.
Piss watch is on the clock.
So with that, we can move on.
Yeah, we're almost at an hour already. What do you want to talk about now? I guess because we would talk about the Sixers arena shit.
Let's wait to talk about them so we can see what's up with the game.
Okay, so the Flyers, they lost in a shootout last night. Ivan Fedotov looked pretty nice. It looks like he's...
Is it Fedotov or Fedotov? You keep saying Fedotov.
Oh, I think it is Fedotov. It is Fedotov. I don't know, man. I'm not good with these Russian names.
Yeah, me neither. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. The Blue Jackets have been surprisingly good this year.
It's that Johnny Gaudreau magic.
Yeah. And, played pretty well. They're coming off two big wins. One a big win because they were playing a very good team in the Panthers, and the other one a big win just because it was just such a fun game against Cutter,
I want to talk about
Quitter
that
Gauthier. Yeah, how was? Because I didn't really get to watch it live. So
That was the most.
Well, funny enough, Craig went to the game.
He was there.
last
Yeah, we
week.
were talking
He
about it
said
at the tailgate.
It was
Yeah.
the best environment he's been in since like 2018. He's like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody was loud. It was bumping. It was like a playoff game. Even, just to be there to boo the guy.
Yo, even just watching it at home, right? It was so funny. Every time fans saw Cutter even come out on the ice for a line change, the minute he comes on the ice, they start booing him. Then, puck rolls around, it ends up in his hands. The minute he touches it, they start booing him. Every time he got hit, they started cheering,
yeah,
right? Anytime there was a stoppage in play where the Jumbotron focused on him, they booed. It was wild, dude. But then the Flyers did great in that so many times. I think Charlie O'Connor said this several times, where the Flyers have so many opportunities over the years to have a big game where they stand up to the challenge and they win the fan base over and they just flop. And granted, it's the Anaheim Ducks. They're not very good, but it's still a big game. Everyone's got it circled on their calendar. The Flyers actually rose to the occasion. Sam Ersson out there for a shutout. 6 goals, each, like, Konechny with 4 assists. I loved, right? They had the one stoppage in play where Konechny's drawn with Gauthier, and you can read his lips.
Yeah.
He
I will
goes,
fucking fight you.
I fight you. I will fight you. I promise you that. I will fucking fight you. And then there was this other moment where there was a scrum and Gauthier's, like, it's a stoppage in play and Gauthier's trying to skate away from it. And Ryan Hathaway, he goes and grabs his arm. He's like, you ain't going nowhere. You're coming back in, and pulls him into the scrum when he wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And there were just so many moments like that all night. There was a moment, I think, late in the game, probably the third period, where even Mishkov got in his face.
I thought so too,
and I'm thinking, Mishkov probably doesn't even know English well enough to talk to this guy. What is he saying to him?
If he was just talking shit in Russian, and he's just like, I don't know how to react to this. But I mean, by all accounts, it was the best atmosphere that they've had in years. So that was nice. I will say, another like Torts thing, and I feel like I've been coming off as like Torts negative the past couple weeks, which I'm not. I'm not a anti-Torts guy, but I feel like this was the first time where I got kind of irritated with him at a press conference when they asked him. I don't know exactly what they asked him, but it was pretty much bringing up like the Cutter thing and how the crowd was or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I thought it was bullshit or whatever. Like, and it's like, dude, can you just like turn it off for 2 seconds?
Yeah, no, I saw this.
Like, and it wasn't even just the team was clearly like egging this up and like pumping this up. When the trade happened that one night last year or whatever, fucking Dan Hilferty got on the team affiliated podcast and literally said, I'm not going to feel sorry for him when he comes here, blah, blah, blah. Like, they've been,
painting this picture for a while now.
They've been, like, setting the scene for this for the whole season. And it's like, and then he, like, comes on the press conference and acts like, oh, this... like we should be like above that or something. It's like, dude, can you just like shut the fuck up?
Yeah, I mean, if the
just
owner
play along.
If the owner of the team is saying, "Yeah, I feel sorry for him," and all your players are saying, "Yeah, we don't care," like
all he had to do is be like, the crowd was great tonight. I hope we can keep this going every night, no matter who we're playing, whatever. You don't have to be like, "There's bullshit." Just shut the fuck up.
Even Konechny during the game goes. The NBC Sports Philadelphia interviewed him between the second and third period. And they're going, talk about, what it's like playing against Gauthier. Like, you know what it's like to be a Flyer. You just signed a new contract here. Like, how's it feel to play against him? And Konechny just goes, I don't really care. It's his loss.
Yeah.
Just like,
he was like, I don't even really know him. We're just giving him a hard time.
Yeah, right. And it's just like, so for everyone from ownership to all of the players to have that feeling and for Torts to just say, I wish we cared more about the team outside of this shit. Just, come on, man. Just play a little bit. Have some fun. Yeah. Like, you're not going to be doing this forever. And this is the best your team has played all season.
Yeah.
You won a big game. And that's what you're going to come to a press conference and say? Gee, get a grip, dude. Nah. I mean, Torts, he's just a grouchy, cantankerous old man sometimes. You're not going to change him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the other Flyers-related thing I had is you mentioned Fedotov. Is it?
Fedotov.
Fedotov.
It is Fedotov. I just...
Hit the little... Doesn't it have a little, like, thing on there?
Yeah, well, he's been playing good. Since he came back, dude. Or since he came back from being banished to the bench. Fedotov has been playing pretty good
Every
hockey.
now and then you need to get, sent away to Siberia for a minute.
Yeah,
to learn
literally-
sometimes you just got to do
do
some time in a Russian submarine.
You got to go to the gulag for a second just to realize how good it is.
Dude, in his last 3 games, against Toronto twice, he was the first game 22 shots or 22 saves on 22 shots.
PronounceNames.com.
Oh, what do we got?
Fedotov.
That probably is the Russian way to say it. Fedotov.
Fedotov.
That's how I'm about to start saying it. Fedotov. So yeah.
Fedotov.
You had to say it just like that.
Do we have the correct pronunciation of your name?
Fedotov. So yeah, in his last 3 games, Fedotov.
Fedotov.
Against Toronto, 22 saves on 25 attempts against a really good offensive team. The next game, only faced 17 shots, stopped 14 of them. Not the best save percentage. But then yesterday against Columbus, 26 saves on 28 attempts. That's a .929 save percentage. Fedotov is playing pretty good, dude. I think they got to send, how do you say, Kulasov? They got to send Kulasov back to Allentown, send his ass back to Belarus for the KHL. I don't think he warrants another look right now. I really don't.
PronounceNames.com.
Kulasov. Let's hear it.
Kolosov.
I was close.
He's more down.
Kolosov.
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 Fedotov.
Kolosov.
Kolosov. Yo, I'm pretty good at this.
Do we have-
It's like me saying the Japanese names. You remember that?
That was pretty good.
Shota Imanaga?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm nice. I can say Spanish names too.
So,
Let's go with. I don't know. I can't think of a good one right now. I can't think of. Oh man, who's a Spanish player on the Phillies? Jose Alvarado. Yo, I'm nice, dude. I got my pronunciation down.
Beautiful.
so you learn something.
And
when
that's
you turn into this
pronunciation with
podcast.
Avery.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be. We'll have predictions with Pat, pronunciations with Avery,
Or
betting
is it-
advice with Trevor. Here we go.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah,
Indeed.
what else? Do we have anything else on the Flyers? Not really, right?
Yeah, I
you
don't
got
think
anything
so.
else on the Flyers?
Kind of in the same position they've been. They're,
So on the fringe of
bubble team.
Yeah.
Shall see what happens at the deadline.
The deadline's so late.
Yeah, it is really late in hockey.
Someday they'll move it up.
Some people have been playing. Igor Zamula has been playing pretty good lately, which is
He's been
nice
better,
to see.
yeah.
He's been better. He's looked awful earlier this season.
Yeah, he's been better. Owen
Dries-
Tippett has woken up from his slumber. Drysdale
he's
had a
some
good game
moves.
against
Noah Cates has
Anaheim.
been really fucking good.
Dude,
He's been their best center this year, basically.
yeah, he's looking like a 2C of the future, I dare say.
Yeah, maybe. They still need that 1C.
Yeah, I mean,
but
but
they're still have the worst center depth in the league, but
now Cates had that goal the other night against Florida, right?
yeah.
That goal was sick,
Yeah, it was
dude,
awesome.
where he slapped it out of the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty. Now I didn't really think he was that good. What was he, a 4th or 5th round pick a few years back?
Yeah, I don't know, something like
Yeah,
that.
it
He
wasn't
wasn't
expected to
like
be
a
good.
top pick. Yeah.
But hey, man, good for him. I like him. He's a
Yeah, that's
handsome
cool.
young man too. Good for him. But yeah, the Flyers got
Yeah.
the Islanders.
Islanders.
The standings, where are they at in the standings? The Islanders are garbage. They got 41. It's like they're only 3 points behind us. Hey, we're only 4 points out of a playoff spot. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's the league is very it's very top heavy, and then it's just a ton of just sort of similarly mediocre teams. So
Yeah, damn,
Those things
Washington's
were never
in
quite
first
out of it.
place by 6 points.
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's wild. Whatever. Well,
yeah, it's been a strange year with the Rangers being fucking awful. the Capitals in first place.
You
in the
didn't
division.
expect Capitals to be good. Ottawa's actually pretty good. What Pittsburgh, I knew they were going to be, but the Devils, the Devils are being good, but you said that was going to happen. The Devils are traded place with the Rangers, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, the Sixers were tied
Hurricanes are
after
still
three
good.
quarters.
Oh, wow.
They might have. If they
Maybe
win a
they're
game.
maybe they're excited about staying in South Philly.
Oh, yeah, I guess we can talk about that now, right?
Yeah, so
we're at the end here.
After years of jerking everybody around
Turmoil.
and causing a bunch of bullshit, the ruling elites of the city have decided to just cut a deal and stay in South Philly, which it seems like this was probably what they were angling for all along. And city council got played. A lot of other people got
He
played.
got played real hard, which is kind of nice to see. Fuck him, honestly.
I mean, it's kind of funny seeing all like the city council people being like, "Wow!"
I feel like a pawn in this game. It's like,
Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah, that's what
literally-
billionaires do.
That's what you
freak.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
But it's it's one of those things where I feel like most people are pretty happy about it because like the unions still get their
It's the same
construction
job,
jobs.
yeah.
They're still building new stadiums, so they're happy. All the people that just didn't want it in Center City are happy.
Arguably easier
The
to commute
Sixers
to work.
ownership is happy.
Probably
Yeah.
more work, honestly, because they're
we're-
building a whole little compound kind of thing, like a whole neighborhood essentially.
Oh,
Is the
around
grand-
the complex,
is the grand
yeah.
scheme of things.
Yeah, that's what they're.
Yeah.
It seems like they want to make it like the Atlanta Braves thing, like the
But
batteries, what they call
it'll
it.
be
but-
cooler because all
'Cause
four
it-
teams are
'cause-
around. And
yeah,
it's
and
not
it won't be
25 miles out of
right.
the
It's not
city.
like out in the suburbs. Yeah. So
Damn,
I mean,
I'll be living at
I'm
the
fine.
tailgate.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I might have to move
It's
down there.
yeah.
I
Moving to
know,
one of
we're
those. Moving to one of those new sports complex hotels.
We're moving to the parking
It's
lot.
like Al Capone.
Yeah.
a dream come true. I'm living
Yeah,
on
yeah.
95.
But yeah, so apparently it's going to be a 50-50 venture with them and the Flyers, with the goal to be to open a replacement for the cursed Wells Fargo Center by 2031. Which
Yeah.
could get the Wells Fargo Center away, dude. The way the Flyers and Sixers have been cursed
Yeah.
largely since that place opened. It's time to move
Yeah,
on.
it hasn't been good. But
And then
Just put all that money into that too.
yeah, there's like $400 million
there's
of
so much
renovations
into
this
that
summer.
shit.
Yeah.
yeah, it's Comcast. They,
I mean,
they piss money
it's-
away like
I
it's
know, it
nothing. They'll just
doesn't
raise
matter.
my bill by 25% by then. It's fine.
Yeah. They'll get their money.
But
But,
yeah, and my favorite thing, we finally getting a WNBA team, yo.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
I'm gonna become a season
we
ticket holder.
shall see if they follow through on this stuff. The other thing I saw,
You gotta start
'Cause-
trademarking those names, dude.
and they
You know it.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
it. Give me royalties. So give
They
me a
also-
cut of the percentage.
and like
Yep.
they're also saying that they still want to invest in some kind of shit in Market East because
What?
They want to revitalize Market East. But I
Yeah.
don't know what
What are
that
you gonna
I
put
would-
there?
I don't know. Yeah, it's
I don't know what that means.
Just the Sixers team store or something. It's just going to be like a Buffalo Wild Wings. It'll be say like Josh
prefer
Harris.
PJs, though.
Josh Harris presents Market East Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, I would prefer.
Yeah, I
PJs.
don't
prefer
know.
PJs, because I
That's
love
the thing that
PJs.
I'm most curious about. I'm curious to see what they.
Dude, they haven't actually thought
Actually-
of anything for that. They just
Oh
wrote
yeah,
that
they're just
position
like,
in there.
oh yeah, we screwed all these people. We have to say that we're still doing something in Market East.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Win-win. I mean,
Philly
everybody
is,
was happy for it.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of these things where it's, I mean, I'm fine with it. I think a lot of people are happy with it, but it's also kind of just a reminder that Philadelphia is a company town for Comcast.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
rough-
They
Comcast,
ultimately get what they
Comcast
want.
owns this is just evidence that Comcast runs the entire city.
Yeah.
But yo, you know the other thing that I thought was funny about this is that Comcast is going to have an ownership stake in the Sixers. You know who had an ownership stake in the Sixers before, or a heavy ownership stake in the Sixers before Josh Harris bought them? Comcast. So what this
Yeah,
does
exactly. They just
is
kinda-
Josh Harris he's going to end up loving owning the Commanders. He's going to end up flipping the Sixers back to Comcast. I feel like it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
I mean, especially we'll talk about the Encore product and the seeming trajectory that they're headed for. I think it could happen with a few years where he sells the team back, which I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't like Comcast. I don't like him. The team seemed like it was better run when Comcast owned them, but that was also when Ed Snyder was still alive. I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
I never know what it's hard for me to evaluate ownership in teams other than in sports other than baseball.
Well, you can evaluate ownership in terms of the Eagles. Like,
I think football is
it's
a good
football.
one for that.
Yeah,
it is a salary cap sport, but you can evaluate a bad owner from a good one in
Look at
football.
Just the way the whole
Jones.
organization is run.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, and you can look at it from like an NBA perspective. Like, yeah, the Sixers with Josh Harris as ownership, they've had an owner that middles too much, forced Hinkie out when the
That's
process
true.
during the process, brought in the Colangelos, then Burnergate happens, right? Like, yeah, think about it. I've
I
said
also
this
feel
before
like
on the
NBA
pod.
has more like ownership, like groups, than it is actual one sole owner.
A lot of because it is Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment, whatever the name of the organization is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, ownership makes a difference in the NBA. I mean, it's made all the negative differences with the Sixers, and quite frankly, I don't know if I have a positive one. There's the negative one with Donald Sterling and his racist ass with the Clippers, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have too many positive ones, but the Sixers have been marred by drama since Josh Harris took over, and he's partially responsible for that. So ownership plays a bigger role in other sports, but it plays an ownership here. It certainly plays a role with the Eagles. Like you said,
Definitely.
the Phillies, when there's no salary cap, ownership plays a huge role.
Yeah.
But even the Sixers' hesitance to go over the second apron, which is why their bench players are all garbage and they can't win a game when Embiid doesn't play, that's a product of ownership. But anyway, I mean, I could go on and on about Josh Harris. Everyone knows I don't like him worth a damn. Then come to think of it, there aren't any billionaires I probably do like, but I don't. Jeffrey Lurie's probably
They don't have a
okay.
reason to hate him, but I'm sure, there's one out there if you find it. For
Yeah.
him, he's still a billionaire.
But anyway, to the on-court product, let's check the score of this game. Unless y'all had more stuff to say about the arena.
No, I mean, I feel like it's been a topic of discussion for a while now.
Sure.
We're just happy that it's moved here. So it's the same story, just different location, honestly. Great for Chinatown. Big win for them. I know they had a couple little things in Chinatown this week to celebrate the move, which is good. A lot of less stress for them, but we knew a big move was going to happen. I'm just glad that it's finally happening where we all wanted it to, and just makes the most sense. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of cool with that. And by the time it's done, the Sixers will be probably like, it won't even fucking, but whatever. We'll see what's
Yeah,
up.
we'll see. We'll have a WNBA team to root on. We'll be rooting for
The Philadelphia Bells.
Well, now there's, the Philadelphia Bells. I don't think that's going to be taken anytime soon.
We gotta lock that name down. We
Yeah.
gotta start locking up all these names.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Bells. What else?
Philadelphia.
I was going to say something about Betsy Ross, but that's tricky. I don't know. I don't know how to make that work.
Philadelphia Betsy's.
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 No,
the Betsy Rosses.
that doesn't work. We'll have plenty of time to brainstorm it. It'll be a few years before we get a team.
Philadelphia Wooder. I don't know.
The Philadelphia Wooder.
Kind of rule.
All right. Well, yeah, the on-court product. They're actually
how's
down
it
by
looking?
2 against the Knicks. Yeah, we're recording, what is it, Wednesday night. Sixers playing the Knicks at home, second half of back-to-back. Embiid is missing his 6th straight game. Foot injuries or whatever have you.
Kind
It's
of
just-
helps that Cat isn't playing. I feel like if he's playing, this game goes
Yeah.
a whole different way. But the fact that he's not in there is a huge help for us. PG's having a pretty good game last I checked.
Yeah, 23 points
Mm-hmm.
right now. But, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about this game. I got to talk about just,
Them in general.
the product, dude.
They had their 24th different line. Wait, no, what was it? Yeah, 24th different lineup last night due to the fact that Maxey, Embiid, PG, I don't even know who else was out. There were so many people that were out. Caleb Martin was out. Yeah.
Kenyon Martin Jr., McCain, obviously.
Lowry,
Drummond.
What didn't really matter. Like they had, I think, 7 or 6 guys that were out. Against OKC. So what are you supposed to?
Yeah,
what
one
are
of
you
the
supposed-
best
as a
teams
fan,
in
we
the
go
league,
watch that
yeah.
game. Like, yeah, I could watch.
You watch the Flyers,
Yeah.
which they lost, but it was a more entertaining game for sure.
It's just and it's a shame because you got the season's. You kind of see light at the end of the tunnel in terms of how the league's shaping out. They're 7-3 when the big three play together, which is good. And someone mentioned that this today before the game on ESPN, and they were like, kind of reminds me of like the Suns last year, where they had all those guys that could have been a great trio, but they weren't healthy all season, and then they sneaked into the playoffs, had to do the play-in, but to force all that kind of quick playing time and all those extra games when your team is notorious for being not healthy and disjointed, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
This year is pretty much a wash. I mean, McCain, like we said, was the only saving grace keeping this shit together. Him going out.
Yeah, I mean, it's already halfway through the season. Like 7-3 when the big three plays is great when you play 12 games.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you've played 38 games, going on 39 games.
Embiid's missed 6?
Yeah, that's just so. Like I was saying last week, is regardless of whether or not you make the playoffs, which that's debatable whether you even make the play in right now. You're not going to have any chemistry, and the other thing about it is the teams in front of them are playing well. Detroit, dude.
Yeah.
Detroit's been balling, right? The
Cade
Pacers
Cunningham had
one,
49 points last night.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Toby's sitting there laughing at us. You know what I mean? What do you call it? Indiana's been playing well. The Bucks, who we've all been waiting for Doc Rivers to just implode them.
That hasn't happened.
They've been floating.
Yeah.
Like, they've been staying afloat. They haven't been playing great, but they've been playing good enough. The Heat, with all their drama, somehow are staying afloat. I don't even know at this point if they make the play-in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bad...
They've been stuck in 11th for a while. And, I mean, this schedule, this gauntlet that they're on, even if they somehow manage to beat the Knicks tonight, it doesn't get any easier until the All-Star break, pretty much.
But you also aren't having games where you've lost... like, Paul George and Embiid being out for multiple games was expected. But to lose so much other depth throughout the whole course of the season, Maxey being iffy every other week too, is like you're missing key pieces that you didn't expect to miss at all either.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we probably were a little bit rose-colored glasses too, watching McCain go ape shit when he first joined, hopped in the league, putting 20-some points a game when he started, which was an unexpected, shining light. So that kind of marred us, being like, wow, okay, well then when Embiid and PG get healthy, then we might actually have a pretty good shot of making a little bit of a run in terms of just being in the playoffs. But with him getting hurt and Maxey not being consistently healthy, you're losing guys left and right. You got nobody.
It's just so frustrating how every single game you just don't even know who's playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much of that is just load management stuff or that they've just been that unlucky with injuries, but it's just very irritating to every game. Like, I wonder what the lineup is
Yeah,
tonight.
who's playing for the Sixers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yo,
I don't know.
So I'm going to say this, right? So last night, it was announced a day or two before the game Embiid wasn't going to play. Okay, fine. And he's got a foot sprain or whatever. He's not going to play. Then Maxey sprained his hand the previous game. Maxey's played the most games out of the 3 stars. It's okay, fine. Paul George was listed as probable all day yesterday.
Yeah.
And then magically, oh yeah, Paul George can't play. That's BS. He didn't want to play. He said, yeah, or they told him not to play. But either way, you can't continue to say, yeah, we have this plan that we're going to punk games and we're going to keep our guys healthy and preserve them for the playoffs when you're in 11th place.
Right.
Right? Like, you can have this plan if you're in first place, second place, and yeah. The playoffs
Even
are what
fourth.
matter.
I mean, if you're at least a solid...
You can say that when you're you can say when you're inside the house, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to step outside of the house for a little bit. I'm going to go smoke a cig. I'm going to go for a walk or whatever. When you're outside of the house, you can't say, yeah, I'm just going to sit out here and chain smoke cigs or I'm going to go for a 10-mile walk.
Right.
No, you got to get back in the house before you can get complacent like that.
Yeah.
And like, no, it's just... It's infuriating because things like that are happening where, yeah, someone's getting scratched because they're deciding to punt a game. And their plan all along since the offseason, right, was, yeah, we're going to preserve our health for the playoffs. It's like, bitch, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. So, like, respectfully, there are so many teams better than you.
The one key caveat to that is you have to be a playoff team. And they're not looking like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching this Knicks game before we came down here to record the pod. You kept saying over and over, they're not doing anything. They're not running any sets.
It's just bad basketball.
Yeah, and then you see the Knicks. Guys are leaking out on fast break. Guys are cutting. Guys are popping out to the three-point line. And it's just feels like anytime I watch another NBA game, which I've watched a few, anytime I watch a game that isn't the Sixers, feels like it's going from watching college to watching the pros.
Yeah. And it's just sad. I mean, we've been lucky enough to see the last couple of years, had that great Embiid MVP run, and even last year he was doing great and got hurt, unfortunately. But, we've been blessed with some really good basketball, at least the last couple of years, as frustrating as Toby has been here and there, but whatever. This year is just downright pathetic. I mean, it's just not fun to watch. To your point, you never know who you're going to get. And when you do get them, you're like, great. So it's Maxey against a whole other team because Maxey's playing with, it just sucks.
Yeah. Yabusele's been fun. They're probably going to have to trade him. Because, they can't. I don't think they can keep him. Maybe they find a way to do that. But he's been the one player that I've been like, okay, I like watching this guy. Other than that, it's just, Ricky Council just barreling towards the hoop with with reckless abandon. What do you call it? Jeffrey Doughton Jr., who should be in the G League. He's playing games, right? Adem Bona, who I enjoy watching, but kind of doesn't have a clue yet, which he's a rookie. I'm not slighting him for any of that. And then you got Nurch challenging calls. That challenge today, the start of the Knicks game, 3 minutes in the game, he challenges a call that was probably going to always be called a foul.
And that,
then
even if
no
it wasn't, it
game.
doesn't even matter. You just started the game. What do you? I don't know. It just whatever can go wrong truly has gone wrong for this team.
They brought some of it upon themselves. Like I was saying before, Josh Harris not wanting to go above the second apron, which is essentially an additional luxury tax threshold without getting too nerdy and granular. They have an open roster spot that they could use to bring in a guy that could probably play some NBA basketball. I've been chanting for Markelle Fultz. They could bring in a guy like that gives you a little competency. No one's saying he's a world beater, but he gives you a little depth and a little competency. But now it's going to put them over that threshold, so no. So that's why I'm like, Josh Harris needs to go. And then this game, the game against the Wizards last week that they almost lost. You remember this? So you've heard of a moral victory where, you lost, but a lot of good things happened. That was a moral loss.
defeat. Yeah.
A moral defeat. Yeah, that's the other way of putting it, where they won the game, but I was furious. I was so mad. And then I was watching the Pelicans game, and I had a long week. I smoked a bunch of weed, and I was feeling real chill. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch my favorite basketball team play. And then they played so bad, I got angry. I was so high and mad, dude. And I'm just like, this shouldn't happen.
That's difficult.
This should not be the case. I'm just like, I should be chill, but instead I went to bed furious that night. I must have screamed and cursed at the TV at least 10 times that game.
Damn.
It was bad, dude. So, no, it's the most joyless season. I was trying to think of this the other day. The Embiid season, it's the most joyless season with Embiid. The only one that came close was the Al Horford year, that one was hard to watch. But I had a lot of fun watching that team at times. I've had very little fun watching this team. So I went all the way back, dude. This is the most joyless season I've had watching Sixers basketball since Eddie Jordan was the coach in 2009. That team finished 28-54 or something bad like that. I mean, this team probably going to finish with a better record than that, but the expectations were so high that
I know.
And that's all I got on the Sixers. I'm sorry, I was just ranting, rambling.
Ain't much else to it but that, honestly.
Yeah, they need some milk.
Yeah, I got nothing. They're not very good.
What else we got? Do we have anything else? Period. Oh, what about, hold up, what are we going to do when TikTok goes down?
What's that Chinese one they got?
Get on
something red.
Xiaohongshu.
Wasn't there something?
It's called Red Note, but the Chinese name is Xiaohongshu.
Why is it called Red Note? Because of communism?
I don't know. I think it's called Little Red Book, which is, I guess, the little red, the Mao's Little Red Book kind of thing. I think that's where that comes from.
That's cool.
But
damn, I'm about to get me a profile. That's cool. I respect that.
We have an account now.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I don't know how to get anything on there or what the deal is going to be.
Everything's in Chinese.
I did put it. I mean, you can change the settings to English, so at least the menu and stuff is in English. But obviously most of the users are in China, so
that's how we get our big break.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Well, this is it's an untapped demographic. Yeah, here's the thing is. Everyone knows that.
When you're Mandarin over here.
Yeah, everyone knows that podcasts are pretty saturated. There's
but not
There's
like
a
this
lot
over
of
there.
There's a lot of there's a lot of Philly sports podcasts, but I don't know if there's any Chinese Philly sports.
That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
there we go.
We gotta get a flag up in here.
We got to get
Yeah.
James Hart. We got to
just
get a
gotta make
James
sure-
Harden big head. Dude.
Yeah, we just got to make
Yeah.
sure we don't, upset any of the censors or whatever. So from now on, I don't want to hear anything about Tiananmen Square or social credit scores or
We never
the
talk
Dalai
about that.
Lama, the fucking Taiwan. We don't,
All right, don't bring it- that's fine.
just
Yeah,
keep it.
yeah.
You just got to keep it clean, and start riding that.
The red flag.
The
What is
We're
it
riding the
called?
red
The
wave.
Chinese,
We riding the
yeah.
red
Yeah.
wave, dude.
What is it called? Red what?
Red Note.
Red Dawn.
Red note.
Or I mean, if you want to, I feel like if you want to be, more respected amongst the user base,
True.
you got to call it by its Chinese name, Zhao Hongshu.
Xiaohongshu?
That
Okay.
sounds better than Red
Xiaohongshu.
Note.
So when you shut us down in a minute, you got to say follow us on Xiaohongshu.
Exactly.
Yeah, no more TikTok.
All right.
Transfer from TikTok to Zhuóyuè.
Yeah.
Damn, we already got it nailed.
Yeah, we're doing good. Damn, this is, dude. We're gonna be
Start
the only
learning, man.
Philly.
Yeah, I was like,
But
it is
wait,
funny.
what was it?
It is hilarious that the whole reason that they banned TikTok is because it's owned by
I don't
a
remember.
Chinese. It's owned by a Chinese company, and they're like, oh, the algorithm is trying to, propagandize Americans and this and that or whatever, and now everyone's just switching from that to a literal Chinese version of TikTok.
Right?
Well, isn't it
Which
that
I guess
too?
they could also probably just turn around and ban that one too if they wanted to, but we'll see how long this lasts.
Well,
I
let's
mean, it
ride
took
that.
them a
know.
long time to ban TikTok.
Yeah,
It's
and
true.
apparently they keep saying that when Trump comes in, he might issue an executive order to reverse it or something, which I don't know if
What a
that's
I don't
silly
think- I don't
thing.
think he's-
An
I don't
executive
know.
order to manage
To
fucking social
save
media?
TikTok.
Oh, what are we doing
I
here?
don't think he's good. He hates TikTok.
No, but
I
it's
don't
just
know.
a point. He
I
would
don't
do
know.
this shit just to do it.
He's credited with some of his support or whatever.
Well, John
Maybe we gotta,
here
maybe
we
we
come.
gotta keep TikTok around.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
will
know.
see about that one, yo. Inauguration. Yo, I realize I'm gonna be at MagFest in a week and a half, a few days after the inauguration.
Isn't the inauguration? Is it on MLK Day?
Yeah, on the 20th.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there on next Thursday. I'm gonna be there the 23rd.
Damn. Right in the belly of the beast.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be in a swanky hotel drinking my danger juice, barking up the wrong tree.
Post,
yeah, dude.
posted on Zhuóyuè.
Yeah, I'll have some stories, but I'll be here for one more pod next week before I go, I think. But then
We
when
can do
I
it
come
Tuesday
back,
or Wednesday anyway.
yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right.
but yeah, I guess is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know how you beat that.
Yeah, I think that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Please, thank you for listening and tuning in.
Please, thank you.
Please
Yeah.
and thank you. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review after your podcast. Follow on Zhang Hongshu, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, Zhao Shanghao, Zhao Wuhao, Wan Han.
Fidotov.
Go Birds.